so we're going to move into lesson 7. So this is chapter 3, lesson 7. So we're dividing decimals by whole numbers. So the goal here today is to find quotients of the division problems that we're going to be working with decimals and whole numbers. Alright, so we're going to jump right into the real world link. So it says Charlotte, Aaron, Maddie, and Katie went to the movies and ordered snacks from the menu shown. Okay, so we have popcorn, we have candy, we have drinks. Okay, so how much did they pay for 4 small popcorns? So if you look, popcorn was $2.45. Okay, so then we multiply this out. So $2.45 times 4. This is just like what we did the other day. So 20, 16, 18, 8, 9. And then we move the decimal over 2 times. So $9.80. So it says, what is the total cost for 2 small packages and 1 large package of candy? So if we do 2 of these and 1 of these, you're going to have $2.25 times 2, which is $4.50, because you just multiply it by 2. So $4.50 plus that large, $3.20. So we got 0. Because remember, when you add and subtract decimals, you have to line up the decimals. So 5 plus 2 is 7. Bring down your decimal point, and then you get 7. So $7.70. So that's how much 1 or 2 small packages and 1 large package of candy is going to be. Now, we're going to move on to drinks. So it says, how much do 4 medium drinks cost? So if we look at medium, that's $3.35. We got to multiply that by 4. So with multiplication, you don't have to worry about lining up the decimal. That comes at the very end. It's in your answer. So then we just multiply. 5 times 4, 20. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2 is 14. So yeah, don't worry about the decimal until the very end. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 1 is 13. So then I move the decimal 2 times, because there's 2 decimal places after it. So $13.40. So it says, what is the total cost for 1 through 3? So popcorn was $9.80. Candy was $7.70, and then we had $13.40 for the drinks. So we add this all up. That's 0. 8 plus 7 is 15, plus 4 is 19. 9 plus 1 is 10, plus 7 is 17, plus 3 is 20. So it's going to be $30.90 all together. Right? So if we estimated this, I would round this to a good number that you can divide out for 4 people. So I'd round that up actually to $32, and it's going to be about $8 per person when you estimate how much each person should pay. So about $8 per person. It's not exact. Alright, so the first part here, we are going to divide a decimal by a 1-digit number. So when dividing a decimal by a whole number, divide as with whole numbers. Okay, so basically what that means is that decimal has nothing to do with it. It goes just straight to your answer. What I mean by that, if you look at this, 6 8/10 divided by 2, 6.8 divided by 2. Okay, so the decimal goes straight to your answer. It has nothing to do with the division part at all. So then 2 goes into 6 3 times. So 3 times 2, that'd be 6. Well, we get 0. So bring down the 8. 2 goes into 8 4 times. Bring down the 8, 0. So you're left with, so your answer is 3 4/10. Okay, so we're not going to have any remainders in this one, because now we're working with decimals. Last time we had remainders, now we won't, because we have decimals. So let's jump over to page 235, and I'm going to do number 1 with you. Okay, read the directions. It says divide, round to the nearest tenth if necessary. So we're rounding now if we need to. So 39 39 goes on the inside, divided by 3. So then we just work this problem out. 3 goes into 3 1 time. Subtract to get 0, bring down the 9. 3 goes in 9 3 times. Get 0. Now this decimal here, it goes straight to your answer. It has nothing else to do with the division, has nothing to do with the numbers. It just goes straight to your answer. So literally it just goes straight up from where it's at. Okay? So then we got to bring our 3 down. Okay, so then we get 1 again. 0, bring the 9. That would be 13 and 13/100ths, 13.13. All right, let's do another one. So we didn't have to round that one because it's not necessary there. Okay, because that was able to stop. The only way you round is, and I'll get to that, is when we get to a number that you just keep going and going and going on. Now, number 2, 7 and 24/100ths divided by 7. Well, 7 goes into 7 one time, so we subtract, get 0. Now, this decimal goes straight up to your answer. It has nothing to do with anything else, so we bring the 2 down. Well, 7 doesn't go into 2, so we got to put a 0. We subtract and we get 2, bring down the 4. Okay, now, 7 goes into 24 3 times. So 7 times 3, that would be 21. Okay, this is where you have a leftover. We have a remainder of 3. But we are not actually going to do any remainders. So this is where you have to round. So we're going to round to the nearest tenth. So this 0 here is in the tenths position. 3 is the number we're going to look at to round it. So this is the one we round, looking at the 3. So remember, when you round, you only round up if it's 5 or greater. If the number behind it is 5 or greater, then you round up. If it's 4 or smaller, then you stay the same. You don't round down, you don't do anything like that, you stay the same. So in this case, your answer is going to be 1 point, now look at this, 3 is smaller than 5, so it's 4 and below, so we stay the same, so 1.0. Okay, so that's the only time you need to round. That's when you have a remainder, because we don't do remainders anymore with decimals. When decimals are involved, no more remainders. All right, now number 3. So 118 and 5/10 divided by 5. Okay, so 5 doesn't go into 1, so I'm going to jump over to 11. So that's twice, so we get 10. We subtract, we get 1. Bring down the 8. 5 goes into 18 3 times. That's 15. Subtract, you get 3. Now, this decimal, like I've been saying, goes straight up to your answer. And we bring the 5 down. Now, if 5 goes into 35 7 times. Subtract to get 0. So your answer is 23 and 7/10. We didn't have to round there because we did not have a remainder. It's 0. No remainder, so you don't have to round. So, let's go back. And I want you guys to do A, B, and C. So pause the video and do A, B, and C. Okay, now that you're back, we're going to go through A, B, and C. So letter A here. Okay, letter A. We have 7.5, 7 and 5/10, 7.5, divided by 3. Okay, I'm not going to worry about the decimal until I get my answer going. So, first off, 3 goes into 7 2 times. That's 6, so we subtract, we get 1. This decimal goes straight up to our answer, and we bring the 5 down. Now 3 goes into 15, 5 times. So 15 we subtract. We don't have a remainder, so our answer is 2 and 5/10, 2.5. Alright, so letter B. Now we have 3.5 divided by 7. So 7 doesn't go into 3, but it does go into 35. So I just took my decimal straight up to my answer. So 7 goes into 35 5 times. Well, 35, subtract, you get 0. No remainder, so we don't have to round. So your answer is 5/10, 0.5. You can put a 0 there if you want, but you don't have to. Okay? Now, letter C, we have 9 and 8/10 divided by 2. 9.8 divided by 2. Okay, so 2 goes into 9 4 times. So you get 8. We subtract, you get 1. Bring my decimal straight up to my answer. Bring the 8 down. 2 goes into 18 9 times. Subtract, you get 0. No remainders. So we get 4 and 9/10. 4.9. Alright, so those are your 3 answers. 2.5, 0.5, and 4.9. 2 and 5/10, 5/10, and 4 and 9/10. So that's how you do division. The decimal point has nothing to do with it. You're just dividing two numbers. The decimal just goes straight to your answer once you start working it out. Alright, so now, the next part of this is we're going to move into dividing a decimal by a two-digit number. Nothing changes. You're still doing the same process by doing division, but you might have to start annexing zeros. Alright? I'll show you what that means. So example number 2, we have 7 and 7/10 divided by 14. So 7.7 goes on the inside. Okay, everything after a decimal, you can annex zeros as many times as you need to continue dividing. What do I mean by that? Let's jump over to page 235 again. Alright, so number 4. 11.4, 11 4/10 divided by 19. Okay, clearly 19 doesn't go in 11, so I got to do 114 all together. So 19 goes into 114, let's see, get as close as we can. So 19 times, I'm going to try 7, 63, 7, 13, too much, so I got a feeling it's going to be 6. So 19 times 6, that would be 54, right on the money, look at that. So I'm going to bring my decimal straight up, and since I took it out 114, it's going to be over the 4, so 6, and then that's 114, so we subtract, we get 0. So your answer is 6/10, 0.6. Okay, when you don't have a remainder, you don't have to annex any zeros. Alright, let's look at number 5. So 55 and 2/10 divided by 46. Well, this time 46 does go into 55 one time. So 46, we're going to subtract. Can't, we've got to borrow. So that would be 9 and then a 0. So now we got to keep moving on. So my decimal goes straight up. Now I got to bring the 2 down. How many times does 46 go into 92? 2 times. No remainder, so 1 and 2/10 is your answer. Guys, all we're doing is dividing with these, nothing else. Alright, now number 6. 336 and 752 thousandths. 336.752 divided by 31. Okay, so we just go down the line. Doesn't go into 3, but it does go into 33 one time. So 33 minus 31, we get 2. Bring down the 6. Okay, 33 doesn't go into 26, so we have to put 0. Subtract, you get 26. Now, bring my decimal up, bring the 7 down. So 31 goes into 267. Let's try to get as close as we can with this. And it's going to be 9 times. Or no, not 9. Let's do 31 times 8. So 8, 248. That's going to be the 1. So 8 times. So 248. Subtract. Can't do that one, so we got to borrow. So that would be 9 and 1. Bring down the 5. So 31 goes into 195. Let's see. Times 6. So it'll be 6 and 18. There it is. 6 it is. So 186. We subtract. Gotta borrow again. We get 9 again. Bring down the 2. How many times does 31 go into 92? 31 times 3. That'd be 3 of them. Can't do it, so we gotta be 2. So it's gonna be 62. So you're gonna get 30 left over. Okay, so we have a remainder. Since we have a remainder, we are going to round that number, the one in the 10th position, because it says round to the nearest tenth if necessary. We gotta look at the number after it. Since it's a 6, we're gonna round up. So my answer is 10 and 9/10. Okay, take your time on these. Slow down. So then I want you to go back to 233, and I want you to do D, E, and F. So pause the video and do D, E, and F. Alright, now that you're back, Let's work these problems out. Alright, so letter D was 9 4800ths divided by 15. I'm going to do it over because I'm running out of room. So 9 4800ths divided by 15. Okay, clearly 15 does not go into 9, so I'm going to just go ahead and put my decimal into my answer. And now we're going to do it out of 94. Well, 15 goes into 94 6 times. Well, 6 times 15 is 90. So I subtract and I get 4. Now I bring down the 8. Okay, so 15 goes into 48 3 times. That'd be 45. Okay, so we have 3 left over, but it doesn't say in our directions to round to the nearest 10. If they don't want you to round to the nearest 10, you have to annex zeros. What I mean by that, everything after these numbers, you can just start adding zeros if you need to finish out your division. So I annex a 0, and I bring it down. Now I look, how many times does 15 go into 30? Well, that would be 2 times. Well, 15 times 2 is 30. Subtract to get 0. So now we have no remainder, so we are officially done. So our answer is 632 thousandths. So when you divide that all the way out, that's what it looks like. Now, let's do letter E. So 3 4900ths divided by 4. Clearly, 4 doesn't go into 3, so I'm going to jump over here, but I got to bring my decimal in my answer. If there's a decimal there, you have to make sure you put it in your answer. Otherwise, it's going to be completely wrong. So now 4 goes into 34 8 times. Well, that's 32. Subtract, we get 2, bring down the 9. 4 goes into 29 7 times. Well, that's 28. So we get 1. Annex another 0. Bring down the 0. 4 goes into 10 2 times. So you get 2. Annex another 0. And now you have 20. How many times is 4 going to 20? 5 times. Subtract to get 0. So your answer is 8,725 10,000ths. Sometimes you have to annex more than 1 0, but it is totally possible to do that. You can continue until you get a 0 in your remainder. Unless it tells you to round to the nearest 10th, you have to finish this out. That's why you just keep annexing zeros over and over again until you finish the division. Now, letter F. I'm running out of room. I'm going to do it right here. 55 800ths divided by 17. Okay, so the good thing is 17 does go into 55 2 times. Well, that's 34. Subtract, I don't even have to borrow, I don't want to do that. 5 minus 4 is 1, 5 minus 3 is 2. Oh, you know what? We could have done this 3 times. Look at that. Sorry guys, my bad. Should have been 51. So you get 4. So the reason I knew to check that is because when I subtracted, I got a number bigger than the divisor, the one we're dividing by. If you subtract and you get a number bigger than that, you know you can add another one to it. So like, I started with 2, and I was wrong, okay? So then I knew that I could put 3 there, and I know 3 times 17 is 51. I should have known that from the get-go, but I made a mistake. I fixed it. So now I subtracted, I get 4. So my decimal goes straight up to the answer, bring down the 0. Now I'm going to do 2, because that's going to be 34, and we get 6. Subtract, or bring down your 8. How many times does 17 go into 68? Well, that would be 4 times. And that's 68, and you get 0. So we have no remainder, so our answer is 3 2400ths. Okay, and that time we didn't have to annex any zeros. It worked out perfectly. But if you cannot continue the division, you have to annex a 0. Alright, so another thing you will see is a story problem. So you're still doing division, nothing changes, you're just going to have to divide it out and figure it out. So Lynn is mailing a care package to his brother. The table gives the cost for mailing packages. If Lynn's care package weighs 3 pounds, how much is the cost per pound? Well, it says weight, 3 pounds, $6.74. Okay, so you have to find what it is per pound. You have to divide the cost by the amount of pounds. Well, 6 74/100 divided by 3. So you set it up, divide it out, and you round because they wanted you to round here. Okay, so because we're talking about money. So if you're talking about money, you're gonna have to round to hundredths. So they got an answer of 2 246 thousandths. They know with money, this is the last place value you have, so they're gonna have to round that, and they round to 2 25 hundredths, which means $2.25. Okay, so nothing changes there. So like letter G down here, it says find the cost per package of a 2-pound and 4-pound package. Okay, I'm gonna do the 4-pound package with you guys. So $7.80 is how much or 87 cents is how much it would cost for a 4-pound package. Okay, now I gotta figure out what it is per pound. Well, 4 goes into 7 one time. So we subtract, get 3. I'm gonna take my decimal straight up. Bring down the 8. 4 goes into 38 9 times. Be 36. Subtract, get 2. Bring down the 7. Alright, so 4 goes in 27 6 times. That would be 24. We get 3. Now we're going to have to annex 0. Sorry, I'm going to continue it over here. So I annex 0 and brought it down. Okay, 4 goes into 30. 7 times, so that'd be 28. Okay, since we're talking about money, I can stop there because I need to round to the nearest hundredth. So this number right here is the one we're going to round. This is the number we're looking at to round it. So like I said before, if it's 5 or bigger, then you round up. Well, this is a 7, so we're going to round that number up. So the cost for a 4-pound package per pound is $1.97 per pound. Okay, so all this is, guys, is division. All you're doing in this lesson is division. So the other one you might see, it's just another story problem. It says Ryan and his brother are sharing the cost of a video game. The video game costs $28.60. If Ryan saved $20 to buy the game, how much does he have left after paying his share? Well, first off, you got to figure out how much his share is going to be. So, if the video game costs $28.60, you got to divide that by 2 because it's Ryan and his brother. So they get $14.30. So each person is supposed to spend $14.30. Well, if Ryan's already saved $20, you got to do $20 minus that $14.30, and he's got $5.70 left. So it's still division, and then you got one extra step of subtraction. Okay, so there will be an IXL with this, so pay attention to that and then go over there and work it through. Okay, so this is all just division. Do not forget that decimal point in this.